All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am back real quick with some more information about the current corruption that has been recently uncovered due to a state audit of the Goldsboro city's finances. Now, I'm going to focus this video on, once again, the water department. Now, this article from the Wayne Week, shout out to Ken Fine, talks about how about 24 elected officials or city employees receive credits from the water department from the years of 2019 to 2022. Now, I already told you about, the former city employee who was credited in her mother's water bill account. I told you about one of the former council members who hadn't paid his water bill in about 4 years. Another one was 8 years behind, a council member, a city employee. But also this article talks about the current city manager, Tim Salmon, also being a beneficiary of the preferential treatment. Now, it says that between July of 2019 and June of 2022, that 24 balance credits had been provided to, once again, elected officials and or city employees and their family members. Now, all total, and this is how it adds up. So you may think a little $400 here or $300 here, or even the $3,000, right? They said all total, the city failed to collect $40,000 in water bill payments, all because of these credits to these particular accounts. And even it implicates the current city manager, Tim Salmon, for receiving a credit to his account. And it says that for a leaky water hose. So basically, that is what the reason that was given to him for receiving that treatment. Now, like I explained earlier, like if you have a water bill and you might have a leak that's causing your water to run a little bit more, or you might have a busted pipe that causes your water to run more, or a bad meter reading or whatever, then you would credit the account. However, there has been no documentation cited in these credits that confirm that they needed to be credited. Now, what's most kind of disturbing, and I wouldn't say kind of disturbing because I know these things go on behind closed doors, but there is also a current member of the city council and their mother who was also getting these undocumented, unwarranted, and unsubstantiated water bill credits. So this says a current member of the city council and their mother was a part of this preferential treatment. Now, once again, this article is Ken Fine. This is not Richard Taylor's words, but I have to report on the information as I see it. So, of course, I'm an investigator, but some things don't even take investigating to figure out. Now, he also states that once their names are independently verified, they will be published in the paper. But I just want to give the public an idea of, who the current city council member may be and their mother, who they may be, who was not paying their water bills or receiving preferential treatment and preferential credits to their account. Once again, I would love credits to my account every now and then. You know what I mean? But you have to treat elected officials, and they should also be held to a higher standard than the regular lay people. However, it says current city council members. Now, everybody knows that we just held an election in November. I think the new ones were sworn in just early this month. So out of the current council members, 4 of those members are brand new, right? And keep in mind that this audit is referring to 2019 to 2022. So by the process of elimination, we can automatically assume or detect that the 4 new members are immune from this audit because they were not in office during the time that it took place. Now, the 4 new members are, I think, Councilman Roderick White, Councilwoman Beverly Weeks, Councilman Chris Boyette, and Councilwoman Jamie Taylor. I think they're in districts 2, 3, 5, and 6, right? So now, who do we have left off the current city council that was in office during that time? We have Miss Hiawatha Jones, who I think she may be my cousin. I don't know, but she knows my dad real good. Very beautiful lady, very wonderful lady. Her and the Continental Sisters came to visit our church one day. Had nothing. I mean, never have anything bad to say about Miss Hiawatha. Very beautiful, sweet lady. Her and her family, her daughters, I met them as well at the induction ceremony. The second member of the city council, who is current but also was present in that time, is once again, Miss Brandy Matthews. Once again, the first, I think she was the first African-American city councilwoman, or even the first woman's councilwoman, I'm not sure. But she has done a tremendous job. I've worked with her on a few occasions. We've, collaborated and conversated about city issues throughout the years. Very remarkable individual. And her service speaks volumes. Perfectly imperfect. Her service, I literally saw her on the streets one day talking to, these young teens and, trying to help them get jobs. So I can not, say enough about her dedication and commitment to the community in her position. So she is the second council member that is currently on the council that was serving during that audit time. And the third council member is none other than the mayor, Charles Gaylor. Now, even though Charles Gaylor is currently the mayor, he is still technically a member of the city council. So that's why I can't rule him out in this examination of who this current city member may be. Now, mind you, Charles Gaylor was the councilman for, I think, District 5 or 6. I'm not sure, don't quote me. But he was the councilman. I think he was even appointed, even 2 years later. He wasn't elected. I think he was appointed. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. But he was the third individual that could be that current council member who is allegedly receiving preferential treatment or, unapproved credits or unwarranted credits to the water bill. Now, let's examine these 3. Now, once again, Ms. Hiawatha Jones, I'm not, technically sure of her age, but if I'm not mistaken, that her mother has unfortunately passed on. So I do not know that even she would qualify because the article distinctly says a council member and their mother's accounts. So if Miss Jones' mother is, currently no longer with us, then that would exclude her from being the individual talked about in this article. Now, the second one is Mrs. Councilwoman Matthews. Now, she was there during that time, and also her mother is very, she does live in Wayne County is still living, and also has been very engaged at various meetings. Very wonderful lady. I talked to her, a lot of times, and have nothing bad, innately bad to say about her. And once again, her concern for the city, and her support of her daughter. Who definitely I've seen her in action in support of her daughter, and she is very, very much one of her daughter's greatest supporters in that regard. So that is once again the other member who could possibly be that member that Ken Fine is talking about. And then the last one we have is, once again, if we examine Mayor Gaylor. Now, once again, I do not know much personally about Mayor Gaylor. I just got affiliated with him and had some conversation. I had the pleasure of interviewing them on the platform when I was interviewing candidates. So I don't really know his mother. I know his father, I think Charles Gaylor, the senior or the second. I'm not sure. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. But I think his father is a judge. But I'm not too sure. I don't recall seeing his mother there. If she was, so I can't say that his mother is living or she lives in the county. So once again, if she's not, my condolences. If she is, then we have to make that comparison between these two current city council members who were alleged in this article and the state auditor's office of having some preferential treatment in regards to their bills. So hopefully those names could be verified, so I can be kind of straightforward. None of the other names have been verified substantially, because I've heard some names, but because I don't want to implicate anyone unjustly, I will keep those names that I've heard to myself. But these are things, once again, that you just have to decipher with the process of elimination. Who could it be? So we have narrowed that current city council member's name down to either two people, honestly, and both of those people I find quite favorable in my eyes, and that is Mayor Charles Gaylor and Councilwoman Brandy Matthews. It's either one of the two that were implicated in the state audits of having preferential treatment. Now, I'll say this before I let you go. My number is 919-587-7782. Call me if anything in this article isn't true. However, I don't cite or I don't fault or I give these people grace who are mentioned in these articles about being late or being able to be late on bills and not paying bills and crediting accounts and things like that, because these are people who inherited a system that was already flawed and needed to be investigated for them not turning in audits. And those audits that they are turning in and having to research, they hold discrepancies from years, possibly decades, even centuries ago, where because they're in the position now, then their actions, or they're in the position, 2 or 3 years ago, their actions are being scrutinized because of the actions of those that came before him. So best believe me, those past mayors, those past councilmen, those past city managers, those past, employees, don't think for a second that they were not also doing these types of things. Probably, came with the job. And everybody knows, that this is something that's not happening on the local level, state level, the federal level, the governmental level, what have you. So I don't want to justify their actions because right is right and wrong is wrong. But once again, there has probably been a long line of individuals before these individuals who are now being audited in their actions who have also participated in this type of behavior. So don't think that these credits and, this preferential treatment or this, undue spending going on trips with city money just started, with these people who are being implicated in this audit. Now, this is, once again, a way that things has gone, that's why they needed to be audited in the first place. So tell me what y'all think. Once again, 919-587-7782. I've been Richard Taylor. I'm gonna get with y'all, but yeah, when these names come out, I'll be able to say them. But until then, we just have to speculate. So y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments, any information. Once again, 919-587-7782. Peace and blessings.